The Light Within. In a small, bustling town, there lived a young orphan girl named Anaya. She had lost her parents at a tender age and was raised in an orphanage. Despite her circumstances, Anaya possessed a heart full of kindness and compassion. She would share her meager belongings with other children and always had a comforting word for anyone in need. However, Anaya's gentle nature was not reciprocated with love from the people around her. The other children at the orphanage often ignored her, and the caregivers were too busy to notice her acts of kindness. In school, she was often left out and had no friends to share her days with. Yet, Anaya's spirit remained unbroken, and she continued to help anyone she could. One chilly winter day, Anaya noticed an old woman struggling to carry her heavy bags of groceries. Without hesitation, Anaya ran to her aid and helped the woman all the way to her small cottage at the edge of town. The woman, named Mrs. Gupta, was touched by Anaya's kindness. She invited Anaya inside for a warm cup of tea. As they sat by the fire, Mrs. Gupta listened to Anaya's story. She was moved by the girl's resilience and the kindness that shone in her eyes, despite the lack of love and recognition she had received. From that day on, Mrs. Gupta and Anaya formed a special bond. Mrs. Gupta, who had no family of her own, began to treat Anaya like a granddaughter. Word of Anaya's kind heart began to spread through the town. One day, a wealthy businessman who had heard about her acts of kindness visited the orphanage. Impressed by Anaya's selflessness, he decided to sponsor her education and provide for her needs. Anaya was overjoyed, but remained humble, continuing to help others whenever she could. With the support of Mrs. Gupta and the businessman, Anaya excelled in her studies. She grew up to become a respected doctor, dedicating her life to caring for the sick and the needy. The town that once overlooked her now celebrated her as a beacon of hope and kindness. Anaya's journey taught the town an invaluable lesson. True kindness shines brightest in the darkest of times, and those who give selflessly without expecting anything in return often receive the greatest rewards. The moral of the story: kindness and compassion have the power to transform lives, and even if love and recognition are not immediate, they will come in time. True goodness always finds its way back to the giver.